I will be... I guess I wouldn't be happy. Happy is a strong word. With like a 6-4. But I can expect a 6-4 out of this deck. And I shouldn't be super disappointed with it. Hey, just patches! Howdy, howdy. Accelerated Evolution is really strong, but of course it's our one Primal Splash, and we don't have any of our Primal cards. We do get a Scout. We curve out a little bit. We've got 3 of our colors. I think I actually keep this. Our opponent did say hello to us, too, so we should be very nice and say hello back.
Soon.
Nope. If we're gonna draw a power card, we really need it to be Primal. And I don't want that either. We need something a little bit better than a 0-4. Thankfully, they just have Cult Aspirant, and that's not doing much. Get out of here. These power cards, I swear. Too much. Well... Iron Aerialist Kopesh is a thing. Uh-oh. Lumen Attendant. A 3-3. Ooh. Okay, well. We drew our Primal. Now we need to draw no more power cards for the rest of the game. We have a lot of them. We already have half, not quite half. We're one short of half of all the power in our deck. Which is not bad necessarily, but not exactly where we want to start. That's a really medium creature at best for us to draw, we'll put it that way. I have basically no lifesteal. It's in here essentially just as a 2-2 for 3, because our options are not great, to say the least. Interesting. So we actually have Predator's Instinct to kill that if we want. I think for now we'd attack for 5. We're just in a race position. We'll give it flying next turn if we want. And I don't know if we want to Predator's Instinct it. They can buy it back. But it'll cost them some power. Okay. Well. Actually... Am I crazy not giving this flying? And just giving it endurance, attacking? Or do I just give it flying and attack? They can hit us for 6-10. Say just for 10 damage. This is to an enemy, right? Yeah, so they cost 8 to do that. They have exactly enough damage if they have a power card. I'm almost tempted to just attack like this. See if they block and then give it endurance afterwards. Because the 1 point of damage won't really matter. This is lethal in 2 turns either way. I could have also given it Killer... Killed the frontline Cyclops, or not the frontline Cyclops, something else, and then gone for letting Cyclops attack into it, wipe out most of their board that way. Okay, that's awesome that they use this pre-combat, so that means they don't have anything. I'd be worried otherwise. Like, we'd have to actually be very concerned about what they could do. I might need to kill this specifically. I think that's a good idea. I don't want them chump blocking with other things. I really want to get rid of the Lumen Attendant before they can draw something out of their wood. Nice, okay. Slowly getting there. Force a chump block. Good, good. We might do this. Exhaust and make a bigger wisp. We can kind of go wide and win next turn. Oh. Oh, we did it. That game was close. Woof. Hoofa. Accelerated Evolution is still a card. Accelerated Evolution does a lot of work. Five drop, huh? As our first play of the game. Again, 3 colors, though. I wish that we were on the draw. Sealed needs to be a little bit slower. Being just a tiny bit slower is really valuable in Sealed. Like, it's not a bad thing. You can't be super slow, but especially, like, week 1 of a Sealed League, you can be a little slower as long as you've got the top end. I'm actually going to keep this, because I just really don't want to be able to... Like, I don't want to miss on our mana.
My oath is true.
Oh,
if your
no.
coin stays good.
Woo! Saved by the birdie. Wow. Miner's Canary is not unplayable. As an aside. Because Miner's Canary is saving our butts. That burb is killing it. Good to see you, Surf Wizard. Talon of Nostrix. Ugh. Alright. Wow, they're really aggressive. Gets Plover, too. Did they actually manage to get an aggro deck in Sealed in week 1? Because that's crazy. They certainly seem to be trying to go for it. I need a better 4-drop. That's not much of a better 4-drop than Primeval Plover, but I think it's enough better. I'm willing to throw it out there, let them get it with the Nostrix, I guess. At least then I can stop something. I feel like if they're playing this much early game stuff, our late game should be able to take over. Are they going to Shamebearer it? That's kind of the same thing. And they actually have to spend power to do it, so, like, realistically, if they use Shamebearer just to sacrifice and deal this, I'm more than okay with that. Certainly not chumping. And then post-combat, are they sacrificing Keeping Talon? Okay. Yeah, I think that that's a way better play for them. I really wish they'd done it the other way. Oh no, Emerald Ring is bonkers good. That card is insane.
All in good time.
Alright, we do not want Ava coming down. There. Oof. So they actually have a lot of top end. It's just that their draw is real slow. So, I mean, they can't play any card in their hand. Are any of them even vaguely threatening to us? I mean, Shamebearer is terrifying right now. We've got a lot of problems with that because they're just going to be able to constantly use the ring. If we'd gotten this down one turn earlier and been able to stop the ring, whew, we're in insane shape. But I guess we stop Ava. Know that Icebow and Snowfort Trumpeter are there. Let's listen to some relaxing Mario jazz now, since we did the Zelda jazz. I mean, seems like a pretty easy play. Make it 4 and just smash. Ooh. Hello. So we actually get to kill that. Which, I mean, they can start pumping that instead, but that takes them a while. And they're still stuck on power. So they can attack us for 3, down to 11. But we've got some options. Looks like they might have drawn something that's playable. They're gonna opt for the buff it to 3. Emerald Ring and Minotaur Oathkeeper are so good. I'm gonna go for a lot of damage this turn. And try and race a little bit here. They can make it 4 this turn, we're down to 7. And then they make it 5, we're down to 2. So, I mean, it's 3 turn clock. We have less than that on them. Oh no, we have exactly the same. But our draws are more live. Like, for example...
You can do this!
Probably want him to give that to the Plover. Bottom the Shadow. So now the thing is, if they attack, I might even just chump block with this, just in case they have a pump spell. And we've got enough damage on the backswing. Probably should have put it on the Plover, though. My plan was to chump block, though. So I was not really caring too much about where it went. They did get another power. It's not primal, though, so we know that they can't play Snowfort Trumpeter. They can't play Ice Bow. Obviously can't play Ava or Silverwing Purge Leader. Still swinging in. I feel like they're trying to get us to not block here and try and win with a pump. But if they do that, then they've got to know they're dead on the backswing as long as we pull off. And I don't really have any incentive not to block. We still have lethal. You're not going to get a good blocker for a 7-9. Not on 4. Snap block. Do they have a 1-cost blocker? Do they have Detain? They have Torch for that. Oh my god, I think they win the game. Because we bottomed the Shadow, so we can't play this Preserver. I mean, we wouldn't have been able to play anything anyways, because we just drawn a Shadow card. Oh, wow. Nice. That Torch is sick. That would have been what they did to win the game, though, so I'm not sure that they have a way now. We'll have to see. And they still can't block, except to chump block. So if they don't have another pump spell or another torch, we're still in decent position. This is really tense. We know they have Ava, Snowfort Trumpeter, Ice Bow, and Silverwing Purge Leader. None of which are playable. So they've got 2 cards we don't know about. Opponent's just deep in the tank every turn. Attacking. I mean, that's absolutely the right play if you have a blocker, I think. Well, I have one option. Whew! Like, there's no realistic way for me to leave back there. I can't even block it properly on the backswing. Oh. I feel a little bit sweaty after that one. That was quite a butt clencher. My goodness. And it's going really well tonight, Redbriar. Very well. 2-0 so far. And oh, baby, was that a close one. Oh. Oh. Okay. Well, I gotta steady myself up here. The old ticker can't handle it. This streamer's an old man. I can't do this. Can't do this to me every single game. I've had 2 incredibly close ones. I'm all hopped up on caffeine, too, to stay up this late. That was intense. Yeah, that game was close. That torch was really clutch. That scared me. That scared me a lot. Missing just short of lethal was nasty. Oh yeah, this is a snap keep. It's all 4 colors. I don't think I can throw any hand back that has all 4. The games can be a little slower most of the time, as long as we actually can play our colors. This means we can play every card that we draw, so I can't be unhappy about that. I mean, maybe I flood out and draw just nothing but power cards. That seems unlikely. 4 colors, turn 2. Boom. Wild Cloud Snake is an interesting card. It can be really powerful. It's hard to make really powerful. We'll see if they actually have the right cards for it.
Look within.
We're not going to need to killer it right away. I think we're going to try and just stay a little bit aggressive. Maybe even Primeval Plover and attack in. Or they have Corrupted Umbran, and that card is terrifying, and we need to maybe put another blocker on the ground.
Beauty and purpose combined.
Offer a double block. And if not, then we can go Primeval Plover and then Predator's Instinct and kill it. If they attack here, I don't even think I can block. It's way too risky. Like, it doesn't seem like a good block for them. They're trading it for a 2-2, so they have to have a trick then. Ghost form. Oh, that'll do it. Oh, wow. Should Berserking it immediately. Okay. I might not use Killer then. I'm just gonna look at their hand.
All in good time.
Okay, they want to put Heirloom Blade on it. So I think that's the plan, as it were. Reinforce. Just gain 4? Huh. Sure? Like, now that this has to attack, we can double block it. They have Alchemist Concoction. Right, Heirloom's a relic weapon. But they can use it to actually attack in and, like, get these to trade. It's still the best thing to do. Concoction doesn't matter that much. Unless they hit something insane here. Quick Draw does not do it. And now, even though we're a bunch of cards behind, we're way ahead in this game. Miles ahead.
The best of both worlds.
I'm not gonna bother to killer that yet. Plus, their hand right now is bad, yeah. And they can't even play any of their Justice cards. Woo! Alright. I think I actually still just do this. Because that's so much extra damage. And then we can accelerate evolution when we want. Pilfer? Sure. Okay. Trying to think I have lethal this turn. Make it so they can't really block there. 4, 7, 10, 11. So we're just short. Unless I were to fight it. So why don't I do that? I'm just thinking about which one's the best one to kill her. I don't think that they'll have a pump spell. I was just trying to think of, like, what they could have that would save them there. Alright, easy peasy, 3-0. Yeah, cards like Pilfer and the... Oh, what is that even called again? The +4 armor one are unfortunately not super relevant most of the time, so we were able to make pretty short work of them. Reinforce, right. Yeah, as the +4. It's not totally useless. They did have a relic weapon in Heirloom Blade. It's 1/3 of an Unbreakable Alliance. And for a lot less of the cost, right? Because doesn't Unbreakable Alliance cost 8? So then Reinforce is actually... Like, playing triple Reinforce is a lot cheaper than playing 1 Unbreakable Alliance. Buy 2. You get a 25% discount. That's a sale. There's some value. I'm actually not sure. Is Unbreakable Alliance a fast card? Is Reinforce a fast card? I didn't even read it. It's one of those cards that just don't register most of the time. Well, all 4 colors. A little bit dicey on how much power we have. Ugh. Like, despite having 4 colors, we're actually having a hard time playing most things in our hand. But pretty much any power card is a good draw for us. And any non-power card, not quite, but there's a lot of non-power draws that are nice. I think I keep this. They're both slow spells. Okay. Yeah, I thought they were both slow, but I was just kind of thinking. Because, like, I don't think they'd be bad even if they were... Or, I don't think they'd... Sorry. I don't think they'd be bad. I don't think they'd be good even if they were fast. Other way around. Reinforces fast? Okay. Yeah, Reinforces a fast spell. This is what I mean. I don't think anybody even remembers because it just doesn't really matter. That was a good top deck. Lets us get Time Weaver possibly with just 1 more power. Ooh. Ooh. Spicy. Ephemeral Wisp, that's a really good one. Right, we want to Time Weaver them, see what they have, and just try and nuke it. Oh, that is a lot of Wisp synergies. Oh my goodness, this looks constructed. I probably want to stop Archive Curator, because about my only way to get out of this is just to fly over right now. Their hand is bonkers good, and it's all Wisps. Everything is a Wisp. Wow. They went all in? Wouldn't you? Look at how insane their hand is. Their deck is absolutely nutty. Absolutely insane. We're gonna just try and, like, Victor's Cry and Master at Arms them to death real fast.
Be welcome, friend.
I know that gives them a card. I don't think that any of the cards they draw are going to be better than what they already have.
You can do this.
I'm mildly tempted to leave one of these back. Because it means we still have lethal next turn. This is pretty okay. Justice? Nope. Once again, we can chump block and we have 2 lethal creatures. Really wanted that Justice. Yeah, I think we're okay anyways, though. Sure. Now they're forced to play Xenon Augury just to try and gain life. But that kind of leaves them dead. I don't even have to block the Master. I can block both of the 1/1s and take 11. Whew. That little stumble was enough for us to get in. Wow, their deck is insane. They're gonna do well. I would be very surprised if they don't. They've got to feel pretty bad about losing that. Accelerated Evolution. What a card. Oh, what a card. 4-0 is a very solid start. For a deck that I said, like I said at the beginning, wouldn't be happy with a 6-4, but I would not be surprised if that happened. Like, that's what I expect for this deck. Good to see you, Mr. Sorlin. Yeah, we're kind of crushing it. Accelerated Evolution used to cost 2. Yes, yes, yes it did. Oh man, I've got so many new things on my stream deck that I want to use, but I have no reason to use them yet. Like, I gotta pull them out at key moments. This is a test of my patience. How long can I wait until I can get, like, the right joke to pull these out? No. This is acceptable. I mean, it's pretty bad, but we can play most things that we draw. And with Primal, we get Accelerated Evolution. We saw how good that card is. Meant to grab that. And Rapid Shot used to just cost 1. Yeah, Protect used to cost 1. Protect costing 1 is not, in my mind, is still not nearly as broken as Rapid Shot costing 1, though. Rapid Shot was so silly at 1. Taking Grenadin. Another aggro deck? I'm always very happy to see aggressive decks. Especially in week 1. Like, in week 3, aggressive decks start getting pretty good, and you have to be worried. But week 1, I'm like, I feel strong about an aggressive deck. Inspire was 1 cost, yeah. I feel like Inspire could go back to being 1 cost. It was mostly insane because of the fact that Armory was such a good deck.
Beauty and purpose combined.
Funny. Lethari Memory Keeper actually gets through that. If we can get a Primal... 4/5 Flying Endurance is pretty solid. I'm very worried, though. It feels like they're looking at this as if they have some kind of removal for it. Although if they do, they're slow rolling us real hard. Because they should just go. I mean, if they're the aggressive deck, swing in.
Strength be with you.
It's a good one against our graceful calligrapher here. See if they'll play anything else. Like the game? Okay, cool. Ooh, Karmic Guardian is a nice one. I'm still going to take our freebie attack. We can scare them a little bit here. Like, they might not block with War Painter. Just throw that away, huh?
Unburden yourself.
Yeah, alright. I'm cool with that. Next turn, we can use Ceremonial Mask to pump up the Karmic Guardian. If they don't kill it, they look like they're trying to. Maybe like a quick gun down. And we can Ceremonial Mask down the Lethray, which does suck, but it's an option. Charchain Flail. Woof. That's a thing. A little short on Primal here. I'm still gonna wait. Ooh, Master at Arms. This leaves us with some options. Because now we can also Master at Arms and just start smashing through. I think I like that first. Because it sets us up for doing a really good turn of Ceremonial Mask, kill the War Painter, and then use Ceremonial Mask to kill something else afterwards. We get multiple cards. It's a little more risky. But in general, one of the big problems for me with aggro decks is that if you let your opponent stabilize, you don't have a lot of late game reach, so we're pretty stable right now. They need a good removal spell, and with them, again, thinking this long, like sitting here and taking this long to take their turn, I can't imagine they have an easy removal spell. Although they took a really long time to Charchain Flail, so I don't know.
The corruption spreads.
Another Master at Arms. Cool card. I'm gonna attack. We've got Cut Ties. If they would like to double block, or even like block and use a trick, I am down to clown. Getting rid of that now before they might have a trick for it. Just in case. Do I think Direwolf will get rid of the 1 power hands? No. I don't see why they would, or should. Mask Maker. Sure. So with Ceremonial Mask, we can get real greedy here. We can kill this, then kill Mask Maker, then kill this. Not sure that that's exactly what we want to do, but we'll certainly think about it. I should have done that the other way. Primal would still just be so good. I definitely should have killed the 0-4 first. They should definitely attack here. Ugh. I so don't want to block, but I really don't want to lose my ceremonial mask either. If I had another unit in hand, I would absolutely just let it happen, or trade these off and then keep the mask. As is. It's too necessary for us to keep that.
You can do this.
Also, we need some primal power. Opponent obviously has a torch or something. Well, if it was torch, they'd have used it.
To the
Hit.
slaughter.
That is certainly a card. Hey, the J-Rab. With another tier 1 sub, thank you.
Place, but Cam's stream helped me overcome my anxiety, Kappa.
Man, just primal. I don't know how this is helping you overcome anxiety because I am anxious as hell. This is making me anxious. Doesn't get any better on the block. Yeah. But, like, I think that's actually the best thing for us. We're flooding out pretty hard now. That's my secret, Steven. I'm always depressed. I'm always anxious. This is why 4 faction is tough. Yep. I mean, we knew we made our deck pretty greedy. I mean, snap blocking, and that's... I was snap blocking before now. Putting more into it is interesting. They've got to have something, yeah. Not gonna chump block yet. Pass. It's true, the smooth jams are helping keep the anxiety a little lower. There's a reason why I run it. I've got trades for both. If they hold back, too, and we top deck in Primal Power, boom, dead. Oh, sorry, boom, dead. We were going to attack before, so I was thinking they were at 6. We can still deal them, like, 8 damage. 7 damage. Whatever. We can deal them damage. Would not be dead. Probably not a good idea. I will snap trade with both, though. Okay, they have figured it out.
Good time.
Lock horns. That now costs 4. Good to know. Might have wanted to attack with a 3-3. I've got to start getting some damage in here. Thankfully, Lock Horns is not Infused Strike. The -1 on the toughness is going to make it not a particularly great combat spell to play here.
Fetch a good price.
Okay. Still trade the whole team.
All in good time.
Costs 8! Now, what do you do? I kind of feel like we have to wait until accelerated evolution might actually work. They're really slow. Like, I get it, this is a close game, but when we know the last card in your hand and you can't play it, the board's pretty locked up. Primal, I make a big endurance flyer. Wow, these top decks are so sick. Alright. That is a hell of a top deck. I mean, it seems like a pretty easy attack. I don't know what they're waiting on. The 8-5 should absolutely get in. And probably the 4-1 and the 5-2 as well. Maybe even just swing all out. I've also been drawing action every turn. Not the action they've been drawing.
Not on my watch.
Multiple cards off of warping out the Outland's Brute. Multiple cards because they get the Spellcraft weapon. Yeah, not quite on the same level. Not attacking there is great for us, though. I have no idea what they're waiting for. Okay. Wow. Man, they are slow. Maybe the opponent has a combat trick somewhere? No. They were just incredibly slow. They slow rolled us really bad. And their draws were incredible. They drew 2 cards a turn out of nowhere for like 4 turns in a row. That happens. Because they hit Warps every turn, and they hit Spellcraft every turn. Sick. That is the issue of our 4-faction decks. We had the dead accelerated evolution in our hand the whole time. I do wish they played just a little faster. They were incredibly slow. I would almost say that they slow rolled us at the end, but they were just so slow throughout that entire game. I don't know if that would actually count. That game was painful. Not so much because they were like mean or anything, or like, I mean, it was kind of rough to lose just to how many times they drew 2 cards in a row. But like, not only that, just the slowness of that game. Playing that fast of a deck with no cards, no power, nothing to do, and just constantly taking a almost rope every turn. Sometimes you're busy doing other things. Yeah, let's keep this. Sure. There are indeed drops for watching Eternal on Twitch. Time Sigil? Maybe the opponent was eating dinner. Yep, yeah, exactly. It's that kind of a thing. Kind of a good argument not to, because man, was that painful for us. Respect my time, please. A little bit.
Guide my fists.
That being said, sometimes I get distracted as well. There's definitely turns where I can take quite a bit of time. That whole game was painfully slow, though.
This city will burn.
People getting some nice aggro draws here. Which is pretty crazy. 1-drop, 2-drop is incredibly hard to do in seals. We're gonna wait and keep the Peacekeeper's Helm for value. We should be able to stand an onslaught. This is terrifying though.
Steady,
wow.
archers.
Quick draw and berserk. And immediately hit suffocate. Woo! What a draw. That is crazy good.
It's working.
Groder Sickle still stops it, and we can use Predator's Instinct to kill one, and Peacekeeper's Helm to rebuke the other one and silence it. Or they can just have another removal spell, because they've got an absolute perfect draw. Wow, that's insane. I don't know if this is the best draw I've ever seen in Sealed, but it's getting there real fast. Very quickly becoming one of the best. I'm not blocking at all because I need the Peacekeepers and Predator's Instinct. If they're attacking with that, they obviously have some kind of a trick again. And they have a trick. So, I mean, better for them to use it on the defense than on the attack. There's no pause there. So what do they have?
You can do this.
Interesting.
Together.
Oh
we'll
wow!
find the path.
Another Inspire card.
All in good time.
That costs 14. Absolutely insane that they didn't attack with that last turn. Apparently we also could have blocked the Talk Tick. Looks like we might just have this, actually. Woo! Wow. Curious why I'm not playing my power out. So, there comes a point in the game where you don't need any more power in play, because everything you can draw, you can play immediately. And so, essentially what you're doing by playing out all of your power, like, for example, if you're at 9 power, and you're in a game like this, playing another power to go to 10 doesn't do you any good at all. You're only drawing 1 card a turn. You're never ever going to be able to play 10 power in a single turn. Nothing in our deck matters that much. Same with like 6, 7 even for us. So what happens is, you give extra information by putting it out. Then your opponent knows exactly what's in your hand. If you leave it in your hand, this isn't super likely in Eternal, but every once in a while there's cards like Hold Up, where it makes you discard 2 cards. So you can use that to like kind of shield other cards in your hand if you want to hold on to them. So like if you get combat tricks later and you want to keep them, and if they have Hold Up and you've got a couple of power cards that you haven't played, you can just discard those instead of discarding a card that you actually care about. And it also, like I said, it makes your opponent worry about cards in your hand. You could have removal, you could have like another attachment, you could have a pump spell. Doing that kind of thing just gives them extra information by just playing it out, because then they know that they don't need to worry about anything. It's a little bit easier in Eternal to tell when your opponent has something, but it's not 100%. And it's really good idea not to just slam them into play. There's so many times where I'll see, like, I'm sitting there and I'm going, oh man, I don't know, like, do I attack this turn? I'm really not sure. They still have 2 cards. And then they go, 1-drop power. And I go, okay, never mind. Now I know that I can just attack. Or they'll, like, I would worry about blocking, for example. They have, like, a 3/4 endurance creature, and I have a 0/4 blocker that's important to keep around. And I'm like, they've got cards in their hand, and I'm like, oh man, I don't know, if they attack right here, do I block? Because I can't lose this creature. And then immediately they go like, power, power. Like they go power and play like something irrelevant. And I'm like, okay, well never mind, now I can block. And they attack with it, and it's like, well, doesn't matter to me now. We're playing against the Witcher. So yeah, definitely makes sense to hold the cards. This hand is really risky. I'm gonna redraw. Yeah, this is better. It's all about them bluffs. Yeah, it's not even, I mean, it's not even necessarily a bluff, it's just that your opponent 100% knows what to do at that point. It's not that I'm necessarily bluffing specific cards, like, it's hard to consider it a direct bluff, but just letting your opponent know that you have absolutely nothing is a really bad idea. Like, you're playing with your hand face up.
Favorable winds today.
There's not really any good time to play with your hand
Not
face
on
up.
my watch.
Just make sure you have a reason to hold power and make sure you don't have a reason to play the power. Yes, because you can certainly get burned on that too. Yeah, sometimes you hold it and then you realize, oh crap, I did have something that was more expensive. Also, if you're playing in ranked and not in... Oh, wow. Ageless Mentor and the Kept Wizard on top. So that's incredibly terrifying.
Beauty and purpose combined.
I'm gonna have something big. Good night. But in Constructed, sorry, before I was interrupted by Ageless Mentor and Scrying on the top.
Let us make bargain.
Yeah, like that. You've got to remember another thing is that in Constructed, holding power can also be useful for things like using market. So keeping power in your hand is useful for you to use with any of your merchants so that you can get cards out of your market later. And it's also really useful for you to set up for things like in power cards. There's less and less of those all the time, but there's still some that are around, right? In power cards, or some of the ones that, like, you play it and you have to discard a card. That's also useful in Limited, too, right? Some of the like, Workshop Tinker that lets you discard a card to get a Tinker. Stuff like that. How do I do this? Copper Hull Cudgel makes that a 5/6, but not enough. I mean, I really just want to use Cut Ties on it eventually. I think for now I make it a flyer. Attack, pass. Let them hit me for 1 billion damage off the 6/7. Hope they don't have another removal spell, and then Cut Ties it, I guess. Ageless Mentor is an absolute bomb. Yep. And Torgov is really, really strong too. Plus they kept on top. This is incredible. Real bad news. Wow! Temple Shihan too. Yeah, their deck is both very, very strong, and their draw is really, really strong. Both sides of the equation are working out very, very well for them here. So now we can't Cut Ties, or we lose this to that, which is not good for us. Dang. Dang is right, yeah. Opponent's deck is absolutely bonkers, and they've had a really, really strong draw. I don't think there's any possible card that can get us out of this. Yeah, and especially not with these kinds of draws. There's no way. We can just scoop now. Wow. Well, I mean, sometimes you just run into somebody who has an absolute nut draw and a nut deck. That was one of them. We saw a pretty nut deck earlier with that Wisp deck, but they had a pretty mediocre draw. That was unreal. Woof. We managed to come back from a really, really strong draw from that Fell deck earlier, but there was no way we were coming back from that one. I don't know that I've ever had a seal deck in this format that would have been good enough to beat that draw. Not week one. Buddy, yeah. He's trying to bite me, which is interesting. Yes, you're a nice boy, but you don't need to bite me. He likes to nibble because he's like grooming you, but it still hurts. It's still a bite. Yes, I know. I don't really want Sauropod Wrangler. I'd rather draw some power cards here. I'm very worried. You're like licking my arm, which generally means you're about to nip me. Yeah, there you go. Ow. It's very nice of you, yes. You're a good kid. Oh, yeah, bite me. Ow. Just a little nibbler. It makes him a very good lovey boy, but also just a little bit interesting. Hot Blood Barbarian's a pretty good card. Veteran Strategist is... Ow! Oh, that really hurt. Oh. Thank you for the bite. Yep. You are an aggressive groomer, my friend. Ow. Oh, wow. Immediately berserking it. We'll take it. I'm not super excited about it, but that's fine. Immediate Berserk is probably okay, because you get the damage in early. I don't know. It's tough. Because you also know that you're probably throwing away your unit.
Choose your battles wisely.
You can do this.
Another Veteran Strategist. And we have not yet drawn a power. That's certainly terrible for us. And by terrible, I mean, oh my god, please, 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 please give me a power. There's a reason we're running 18. We also scouted to the bottom, so the odds of us not having gotten a power card here is kind of low already. We have 15 in the deck. We would have drawn how many? 38, so 3 and scouted 1. I'm gonna hope that it's just the temper. Kind of curious what those odds work out to be. So yeah, it would have been 4 cards that we've seen so far. Yeah, so the odds of us drawing a power by last turn was at 88.00379%. Thankfully, we're set up now. Recombobulate. Wow, and off the warp, too. Crazy awesome hit for them. Because that also stops us from having a power next turn. Sick, 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 sick hit. Really, really bad for us. Like, that might just be the game already. That puts us back a lot. Double time. They might have needed that, too. So sick. We do go to attack. We can block the 1-3, but I probably don't want to do it. Because it makes this 4-6 useless if they have anything. I don't know. Yeah, it deactivated the Master, made something cheaper, drew them a card, and time walked us. Like, basically stole an entire turn. It's pretty backbreaking. Especially when we're stuck so much on power. Like, it wouldn't be as big of a deal if we weren't just so stuck on power. But that was like a 5-for-1. Oh, wow. Okay. Well, if we'd drawn a power, we might have had a chance because we've got Time Weaver, we've got to cut ties, so we could have stopped it from doing anything. But now I don't think we're able to do anything. We're just dead. Just too slow. Fine, I want to see. They do have something. Oh, right, they've got the temper. I know that. I'm an idiot. I'm tilted. This game was super rough. Like, we saw that our chances of drawing cards before this was at 90-some%. And so, missing out on it sucks. That's a hand that we lose, like, 10% of the time. Because if we just drew a power there, we're fine. And not drawing power there happens, like, 10% or less of the time. For us to be that low on power. We just calculated the odds on it. Too bad. Like I said, we're heading more towards a 6-4, which is not surprising. This deck's very, very medium. Our pool was incredibly hard. It's definitely not... It's definitely one of the worst pools that I've had. It's not the... I don't think it's the absolute worst, but it's down there. There's no way that I would ever call this a good pool. I mean, we're only able to play one rare. That's incredibly bad. Sealed is often about maximizing the number of good rares that you can play. Which maybe means that we should be playing Primal with Ava. But, I mean, all of our decks just looked so bad. We didn't have enough playables in any deck that was Primal enough to play Ava. And we've got basically no removal. Which leaves us in some really, really bad spots, as we've seen. We have Cut Ties and Predator's Instinct, and that's it. And Predator's Instinct is far from premium removal. Yeah, that's a terrible hand. Alright. Yeah, we don't have anything that we can play here. Unfortunately. We can top deck out of this one. If we just get one Justice, we're actually okay. But we have seen the way we've been drawing the last little while. Missing that, like, 90%er in the last game killed us. And this is a lot lower odds than that, so... I'd say there's a really good chance that we just lose this game without ever being able to play a card. Yep, those are definitely two of the worst cards we could have seen. I mean, it does let us play Preserver, but a big problem is that we can't really get much value off of them. Like, Blister's Thing was a much better draw. You've got to be kidding. Why are they upset about that? There we go. Oof. We getting lucky.
The best of both worlds.
Oh, yikes, the Tribalist Preserver. Yeah, our Preserver has 0 Radiance or anything. I mean, the card's still really, really good. Alright, apparently our opponent is also in trouble. A lot more trouble than we are. Amaran Camel. Huh. What do I care about nuking here? None of these cards seem particularly useful or good on this board now. Skywalk is definitely the scariest, so I'm just gonna nerf that, honestly. Three-color Lethray Ranger deck. I mean, it's sealed. You have to make those kinds of concessions. That's just the way sealed works. I'm gonna be willing to trade that before they can get it bigger. Plus, that means that this Wisp can keep getting in, which is kind of nice.
Beauty and purpose combined.
You're saying they made bad life choices, but like, I've had to play some real bad cards in this deck too, remember that. Like, just remember, this is Seal. Playing bad cards is part and parcel with what you have to do. Many, many times you don't have a better choice than to play some pretty bad cards. You didn't really see any good cards, though. I mean, Lethra Ranger and Xenon Destroyer and stuff are actually good cards. So is Sand Viper. Skywalk Instructor is a great card. They've got good cards in their deck. That's pretty solid. I think we'll double block. We don't want them to keep that. Sucks to lose Preserver, but we've got enough damage now.
You look lost.
Is that lethal? Not quite. Oh, wait.
You can do this.
I have 7. I can play both. Duh. That is lethal. Oh, no. It's 1 short if they block wrong. Oh. They don't even block at all. Sure. Just scooping there makes perfect sense. Yeah, the individual cards that we saw from our opponent haven't been that bad. It just didn't play well with their influence. Like, their draw ended up horribly. But you can imagine if they started out Shadow and then played, like, Lethra Ranger into Xenon Destroyer into Skywalk Instructor. That would probably run us over. That'd probably run a lot of people over. Their deck didn't seem that bad. I don't see why that was terrible. You, like I said, you have to deal with the cards that you're given in a Seal tournament, right? Which is why, like I said, our deck is a, like, 3 out of 10. Or, like, our pool is a 3 out of 10 or something, too. And I think we just maximize the ways for ourselves to win. Normally, I mean, I'm pretty happy with this deck. Happy going 6-4, honestly. If we can go 7-3 here, I'll be very impressed. Because our deck is not good. But you just have to make do with what you have. Your opinions are skewed from a draft format where people's faces can just get ripped off. Yes, definitely. You shouldn't be playing aggressive in this either. I'm so tempted to keep this. Just because the power is useful. We have almost all of our colors. Arsu sniping me. Viewer battle hype. This is my final boss, too. I'm so worried about redrawing this. It's on that edge. Yeah. Yeah, that first hand was much, much better than this. We're in a ton of trouble. We do have 16 power to draw, but we've got to get lucky now.
Easy, big guy.
That's good. It's very good. If we can draw one more, we might make it. Tinker was a great draw if we're not going to draw power. Nope. I hate doing that, because that's easily the best card in our deck. But I don't have an option. Ugh. Come on, time. And it seems like I might have a spell to kill this, which would be real bad for us, because time would be nice. Warp. Yes. Okay.
All in good time.
What is in your hand? We combobulate Vanquish? Oh, wow. And Sheriff's Hat. This hand is bonkers good. Wow. Yeah, I think we're super dead. Wow. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. How do I ever beat this? 3 removal spells, basically. With a Sheriff's Hat and a Guerrilla Fighter. And they can play every single spell, except for Pensive Lumen. And they can do that with a single draw. Yikes. Yikes. There's the Vanquish. They can't Sheriff's Hat or anything. Oh, they drew a Eulogist on top of that. Okay. So they had the power in their hand. I was like, how did they do that?
Unburden yourself.
Will Karmic Guardian leave back the 2/2 to trade with the 4/1, I guess. They're holding up Recombobulate, which is incredibly awful for us. But they probably just play Gorilla Fighter. And then attack the 4/1. That's what I think I would do. They can leave up Envelop that way. They might Sheriff's Hat. I mean, they could certainly Sheriff's Hat the 2/2. Their hand is much better than ours. Wow. Like, the difference here is incredible. I mean, their deck is also just way better than ours. Their pool, just on this alone, looks so much better. It's funny, I actually can't really put any of these buffs onto that because they can just envelop or recombobulate it at any point. So there's no good advantage to doing it. As long as they have even one power-up, attacking into it is terrible for us. I think I double block that. Yeah. I need to top deck a bunch of power. That's something. So we'll Plover. They still have the Recombobulate or the Envelop to stop it. Hey, Xenorath, good to see you. They already have the best cards, make them use them. To an extent, I don't need to walk into them. Wow! Holy crap, that top deck! That's insane! Oh, man! What a bonkers hit. And Wandering Wisp. Wow, these draws are unreal. Guess we can do that? Wow. Unreal. Unreal. Okay, well. Let's see what we're scouting into first, I guess. Definitely don't need that. Can't play the Ceremonial Mask off of it anyways. I feel like vomiting. This is incredible. At least, like, recombobulating or enveloping that isn't particularly useful.
Unburden yourself.
Eat steel.
Discarding Pensive Lumen. It'll recombobulate, yep. Like, now we'll make them use that. Because we don't have Master of Arms in play, so it makes sense. We still know that they have Envelop, and that's the last thing that we know about. Well, I have to block that. Pillar of Amar. They top deck that instantly off of Karmic Guardian. We can bobulate. That's so unreal good. Wow. Wow. Oh my god. Wow, what a draw. I mean, our only possible out, and it's like 5% less, is if we can actually attack in with this and have them block Pillar of Amar. But now they won't even do that because they get attacked with it. Attacking with Pillar of Amar is surprising to me because we have any pump spell when we kill Pillar, and that just seems insane. Like, Pillar is such an incredibly powerful card. You can't possibly let us do that, right? But I guess so. I mean, they top deck more gas again, so what do you do? I'm holding the Master because, like, we can't really do anything into that envelop. We'll just return this the minute it's good. They have not used the temper. Okay. God. We can't even double block this. Wow. Incredible. Alright, well, we are unfortunately stuck just leaving that as an only defensive unit now, because it can never attack. It immediately gets blown out by Envelop. And I have to be in defensive mode forever against an army of 5/5 Sentinels. I think this game's done. Top deck Pillar off of that Recombobulate is the most disgusting thing. They couldn't have even played it otherwise. And then immediate 2 power draws in a row after that. Unreal. Just unreal. We still can't even block because they have temper. Wow. Wow. That is so sick. It's not the most disgusting thing that's ever happened to me, but this is really close. This has been a series of some of the best top decks I've ever seen. That is just nuts. Well, I have no choices. I mean, we can't block with our 3/6. We can't just take the damage. Just incredible draws. Just incredible. Truly unreal.
We hone our skills.
And we draw another useless power. We bottomed another one of them. That's the last time Sigil actually in our deck. That's the last time source at all. That sucks. Yeah, our draws were maybe less than ideal versus that. Wow. That was pretty incredible. Hey look, the 6/4 that I talked about.